I never thought a simple check could unravel my entire world. But that's exactly what happened on that scorching afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Melissa Hayes. And at 38, I figured I had my mother pegged, Evelyn Hayes, the queen of guilt trips and tight budgets. I work as a financial analyst for a mid-sized firm downtown, poring over spreadsheets and sniffing out discrepancies in corporate ledgers. It's funny how I could spot a shady transaction from across the room at work, but when it came to family, I was blind as a bat in the desert sun. It was one of those blistering March days where the heat shimmers off the asphalt like a mirage. I was at my kitchen table in our modest ranch-style home on the outskirts of town, crunching numbers for a client report, when the doorbell rang. 3 sharp buzzes, Evelyn's signature. She didn't visit. She descended. Melissa. Honey. Open up. I've got something that'll knock your boots off, she called through the door, her voice carrying that familiar mix of excitement and command. I let her in, and she breezed past me like a dust devil, clad in her go-to outfit, faded jeans, a turquoise blouse that screamed Southwest flair, and that stern look that said the world had shortchanged her one too many times. She fished into her knockoff leather purse, the kind you'd find at a flea market in Tucson, and pulled out a check. For your dream house down payment, she declared, thrusting it at me with nails painted a fiery red.
$52,000.
The zeros stared back at me like accusatory eyes. Mom.
This.
Where on earth did this come from? I stammered, my mind racing. Evelyn lived on a fixed income in a small adobe apartment complex in Mesa, always complaining about her Social Security barely covering her prescriptions and the rising cost of gas for her old pickup truck. Her eyes narrowed, that telltale sign of impatience. Just say thank you, Melissa. For once, can't you just appreciate it? The words hit like a slap from a saguaro's spine. Growing up in the Hayes household meant navigating a minefield of obligations. Money wasn't currency, it was a tool for control, doled out to the most obedient. I'd seen it my whole life, affection tied to compliance, favors with invisible strings. But 50 grand? That was way out of her league. I do appreciate it. But seriously,
Mom.
You don't have this kind of cash lying around. She snatched her purse tighter. Always the skeptic. Your sister Sarah would have just hugged me and cashed it. She gets family. Sarah. My older sister. The golden child who called every day and never questioned a thing. The comparison stung.
As it always did.
I folded the check, noticing the account number, ending in 4567. It rang a bell, but I couldn't place it. I need time to think, she huffed, heading for the door. Think all you want, but don't come crying when you can't afford that place in the suburbs. After she left, I sat there, the AC humming softly, staring at the paper. Something felt off, like a coyote howl in the night. On impulse, I logged into my online banking. There was an account I checked quarterly, the college savings fund for my daughter, Lily, started 5 years ago when she was born. It was our safety net, built from overtime and bonuses, promising her options I never had. The balance loaded, $32,000. It should have been over $80,000. My heart plummeted like a rock in the Grand Canyon. I scrolled through transactions, electronic transfers, all authorized, spaced out over 14 months. The latest, $50,000, 3 days ago. And the recipient account matched the check exactly. Rage bubbled up, hot and fierce. But my analyst brain kicked in. This wasn't random, it was calculated.
How?
I never shared access. Then it hit me, last year. when her ancient desktop crapped out during a power surge from a monsoon storm. I'd given her my old laptop. I'd wiped it, or so I thought. But browsers remember passwords like elephants remember water holes. That night, sleep evaded me. At 2 a.m., I was in my home office, documenting every withdrawal. They were all under $5,000 smart, avoiding federal reporting thresholds. Login history showed IPs from her complex. I traced one, straight to Mesa. The puzzle pieces fit too perfectly. But I needed more. Come morning, I called out sick, first time in years, and headed to the credit union branch in Scottsdale. The manager, a kind-faced guy named Tom, reviewed my request for full records. Irregularities, I said, hands steady despite the storm inside. He nodded sympathetically. Back home, the docs confirmed, device IDs matched my old laptop, plus recent mobile app access from an unfamiliar phone. This was escalating. I drove to her place, parking down the street amid the palm trees and stucco homes. Her truck was gone. Thursday lunch with Sarah at their favorite Tex-Mex spot. I still had a key from her niece's surgery 2 years back.
Inside,
The laptop sat amid clutter. Bills, catalogs, sticky notes with her email passwords. No smoking gun. But I snapped photos anyway. Opening the browser, saved logins popped up, including my credit union. And there, tucked away, printed statements from my account, highlighted withdrawals, a notebook labeled Lily's Future with dwindling balances. Then, an envelope, legal forms changing the beneficiary from Lily to Sarah. My signature? Forged. The loops were Evelyn style, not mine. A car door slammed, them returning, laughing with shopping bags from high-end outlets. I slipped out the back, pulse racing. This wasn't just theft, it was a family conspiracy. And in the West, where family ties run deep as canyons, that cut deepest. Driving back to Phoenix, the freeway blurred through my tears. $82,000 gone, Lily's future siphoned away. But beneath the hurt, a resolve hardened like desert clay. I'd always been the fixer, the one who balanced books while Evelyn played the victim. No more. I needed a plan, legal and airtight, because in Arizona, financial crimes like this could lead to felony charges. But family cases often got messy with emotions. First, I consulted a lawyer specializing in elder financial abuse, ironically, usually protecting seniors, not prosecuting them. Rebecca Torres had a no-nonsense office in Tempe, walls lined with law books and photos of Red Rock hikes. This is textbook identity theft and forgery, she said, reviewing my evidence. We can file a police report, but mediation might be smarter to avoid a drawn-out trial. Arizona law allows for restitution through civil suits. And with your documentation, we've got leverage. I nodded, explaining the history. It wasn't new. Evelyn had a pattern. Back when I was 12, Grandpa left me his vintage Ford pickup, the one we'd restore together in his garage near Sedona. 2 weeks after the will reading, it vanished, sold for house repairs. The cash funded Sarah's dance lessons instead. Family first, Evelyn had said, but it was always her version of family. In high school, I'd squirreled away $500 from waitressing at a diner, hidden in a boot for college apps. Gone one weekend, Sarah's prom dress. Apparently. College bonds from relatives? Cashed out for Evelyn's emergencies, like a Vegas trip. I'd swallowed it all, craving approval. But when Lily arrived, I vowed to break the cycle. Separate accounts. No shared info. Yet here we were. Rebecca outlined steps. freeze accounts, file disputes with the credit union, gather affidavits. We'll demand full restitution, interest, and a no-contact order if needed. But Melissa, this could fracture your family. I knew. That evening, Evelyn texted, "Cash the check yet? Sarah says you're overthinking." Audacity at its finest. I met Sarah for coffee the next day at a spot in Chandler, away from prying eyes. She arrived in her SUV, looking polished as ever, real estate agent chic. "What's up?"
Cease.
Mom's worried. I laid out photos of the statements.
The forgery.
Her face paled under the freckles. "This can't be." She said the money was from an old investment. Denial shifted to shock. She asked me to sign something months ago. Said it was for taxes. Oh God. Melissa. I didn't know. Tears flowed, hers and mine. Sarah had benefited. Sure. But was she complicit or manipulated? "We need to confront her together," she whispered. But I held back. Trust was shattered. Rebecca advised waiting for more evidence.
¿Y dove diper?
Pulling credit reports, mine showed inquiries from Evelyn's address. She'd even applied for a card in my name. Denied, luckily. Memories flooded. Christmas last year. Evelyn probing about Lily's fund over tamales. Smart planning, she'd said. Family takes care of its own. Now it mocked me. I thought of Lily, oblivious in kindergarten, drawing cacti and cowboys. She deserved better than this generational poison. The police report came next. At the Phoenix PD station, Detective Ramirez took my statement. Family theft is tough, but with this evidence, IPs, forgeries, we can build a case under 13 to 2002 Argentine pesos for identity theft. Could be class 4 felony. He warned prosecution might hesitate without clear intent, but the amount qualified as grand theft. Evelyn called that night. Voice sugary. "Honey, everything okay? You seem distant." I played dumb. "Just busy." Inside, fury simmered. Rebecca filed for a temporary restraining order on financial matters, freezing any joint assets. Sarah, torn, provided her own statements. Evelyn had dipped into her inheritance too. Joint account from Dad's passing. Confrontation day arrived. We met at Rebecca's office. Neutral ground. Evelyn stormed in. Sarah trailing. "What's this nonsense? Accusing your own mother?" I laid out the evidence stack, logs, photos, reports. Her defiance cracked.
I
was borrowing. For emergencies. Medical bills. The truck repair after that hubbub storm. Borrowing without asking is stealing, Rebecca interjected. And forgery? That's criminal. Evelyn's eyes darted. Sarah needed help too. "We're family," Sarah spoke up, voice trembling. "Mom, you took from Lily." "From me." "Why?" Evelyn broke then,
sobbing.
I panicked. "After your dad died, money's been tight. I thought I could pay it back." It was the first crack in her armor, a glimpse of vulnerability. In the West, where self-reliance is gospel, admitting weakness hit hard. We paused the meeting. Emotions ran high like a flash flood. That night, alone under the stars on my patio, I wrestled with it. Revenge felt justified. But was there room for mercy? Rebecca suggested mediation through Arizona's court system. Cheaper.
Faster.
Focused on resolution. "Make it humane," she said. "Demand restitution. But include counseling. Turn this into healing." I agreed. The lesson forming, family isn't about blind loyalty. It's about accountability and growth. Mediation loomed like a thunderstorm over the Sonoran Desert. We convened at a neutral center in Glendale, a far cry from the dramatic courtrooms you see on TV. The mediator, a seasoned woman named Carla with a no-frills attitude, laid ground rules, no interruptions. Focus on facts and feelings. Evelyn sat across, arms crossed, Sarah beside her looking like she'd rather be anywhere else. Rebecca flanked me, stack of evidence at the ready. Carla started. This is about resolution under Arizona law. Financial exploitation can lead to civil penalties, but mediation aims for agreement. I spoke first, voice steady despite the knot in my gut. Mom, you stole $82,000 from Lily's college fund. Forged my signature. Involved Sarah. I want restitution. But more, I want to understand why. Evelyn's lip quivered. Understand? You think life's easy on Social Security? After your father passed in that mining accident up in Flagstaff.
Eva scraped be.
Medical costs. The apartment rent hiking every year. I saw that fund growing and thought, just a loan. I'd invest it. Pay back double. But you didn't ask, Sarah chimed in, hurt, lacing her words. And you dipped into Dad's inheritance too. Lied about it. Evidence paraded. Bank logs showing transfers to Evelyn's account. Spent on essentials like a new AC unit and trips to Laughlin casinos. The forgery form glared accusingly. Carla probed. Evelyn. Arizona revised statutes define this as theft. But why not communicate? Tears welled.
Pride.
In the West,
You don't beg family.
you handle it. It humanized her, widowed young, raising us in a tough economy where ranches folded and jobs vanished. But excuses didn't erase the betrayal. We broke for lunch. Sarah pulled me aside in the hallway. She's scared.
Mel.
Therapy could help. I nodded. The humane path beckoned. Back in session. Rebecca proposed terms. Full restitution over 6 months. Sourced from liquidating assets like her hidden savings and jewelry. Mandatory family counseling through a state-approved program. No contact with Lily until progress shown. In exchange, no criminal charges. Evelyn balked. Sell my things? That's all I have left. But Carla reminded her. Alternative is court. Possible jail under 13 to 1802 Argentine pesos for theft over $25,000. Pressure mounted. Sarah urged. Mom, this fixes us. Finally, Evelyn signed, muttering, for the girls. Post-mediation, we started sessions with Dr. Ellis, a counselor in Phoenix specializing in family dynamics. First one was tense, Evelyn defensive. Me guarded. Money was my way to stay relevant, she admitted. After losing your dad, control slipped away.
Dr.
Ellis unpacked it. Generational trauma from her own upbringing on a failing farm in New Mexico, where scarcity bred manipulation. I shared my pain, the sold pickup, vanished savings. It made me doubt love. Sarah confessed enabling, blinded by favoritism. Sessions peeled layers, revealing Evelyn's undiagnosed anxiety, exacerbated by isolation. We learned tools. Open communication, boundaries without walls. Meanwhile, restitution trickled in. First payment, $20,000 from cash bonds. Evelyn called permitted contact. It's hard, but fair. I deposited it into Lily's fund, watching it climb. Legal clarity helped. Rebecca ensured compliance by a court oversight.
No loopholes.
One evening, after a session, Evelyn lingered. Walk with me. We strolled the parking lot. Sunset painting the sky orange. I messed up bad. Thought I was protecting you from my struggles. I stopped. Protecting? By stealing. She sighed. Stupid logic. But counseling's opening my eyes. I'm sorry. Truly. It wasn't instant forgiveness, but a seed planted. Lily asked about Grandma less. I explained gently. She's working on being better. The drama shifted from revenge to repair. A Western tale of resilience. Months in, changes showed. Evelyn volunteered at a senior center, finding purpose. Sarah and I bonded over hikes in the superstitions, rebuilding trust. The lesson crystallized. Vengeance scorches like wildfire, but understanding rebuilds from ashes. Yet doubts lingered. Was this real? Or another ploy?
Dr.
Ellis assured. Progress is messy. One breakthrough. Evelyn shared her own theft story, her mother pocketing inheritance. Cycle I didn't break until now. By month 4, payments hit $60,000. We celebrated modestly with enchiladas. Evelyn teared up. Thank you for the chance. I hugged her tentatively. Humanity won that day. As summer baked Phoenix into a furnace, our family's healing gathered steam like monsoon clouds. The mediation agreement held firm, with Rebecca monitoring payments, now at $70,000 restored, plus 5% interest per Arizona Civil Code. Evelyn sold her vintage turquoise jewelry collection at a Santa Fe market fair, fetching enough for another chunk. Hurts letting go, she admitted in session, but it's penance.
Dr.
Ellis pushed deeper, role-playing confrontations, journaling resentments. I wrote pages about the weight of unspoken thefts, how it eroded my self-worth. Evelyn read hers aloud. I used money to fill the void your dad left. Robbed you to feel powerful. Sarah revealed guilt over past benefits. I saw the favoritism but stayed quiet. Tears flowed. But so did laughter, reminiscing Dad's barbecues. Our childhood road trips to the petrified forest. Legally, we filed updates with the court.
Instruing Novaricis.
Detective Ramirez closed the investigation conditionally. Full compliance meant no charges. Smart choice, he said. Families recover better this way. It felt right. More humane than bars. Emphasizing restitution over retribution.
Lily met Evelyn supervised.
At a park under cottonwood trees. Grandma, she squealed, hugging fiercely. Evelyn's eyes softened. Missed you, little cowgirl. They colored desert scenes. Evelyn sharing stories of her youth herding cattle. No gifts, just presents. This is what matters, I whispered to Sarah. But storms hit. Evelyn slipped once. Texting me unsolicited. Need $500 for meds, can you spot? I forwarded to Rebecca. Boundary violation. We addressed in therapy. Old habits, Evelyn confessed. Learning to ask honestly.
Dr.
Ellis assigned budgeting homework. Evelyn joined a financial literacy class at the community college. Progress showed in small ways. Evelyn's apartment, once cluttered, organized now. She started a garden, succulents thriving in the heat. Like us, she joked. Sarah helped her apply for assistance programs, uncovering overlooked benefits. You don't have to struggle alone, Sarah said. One weekend, we drove to Sedona for a family retreat, Dr. Ellis's idea. Red rocks loomed majestic. A backdrop for vulnerability. Around a campfire. Evelyn opened fully. After your dad's accident. Fear consumed me. Money became security. But I hurt the ones I love most. I shared. It made me guarded, always expecting loss. Sarah added, divided us. We released lanterns into the night sky, symbolizing letting go. Back home, final payment arrived, $12,000 cashier's check. Lily's fund whole again.
Growing.
Evelyn handed it personally, eyes clear.
No strings.
Just amends. I accepted, hugging her. Thank you for trying. The drama ebbed, replaced by tentative bonds. Lesson learned. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's choosing growth over grudge. In the vast West, where horizons stretch endless, so does hope for redemption. Fall brought cooler winds to Phoenix, mirroring our family's thaw. With restitution complete, the court sealed the case, no lingering liens. Just a notarized agreement binding us to ongoing counseling. Rebecca shook my hand. You turned poison into medicine. Proud of you. Legally clear. Emotionally evolving. Evelyn moved closer. To a senior co-op in Scottsdale. Fostering independence. She volunteered teaching crochet at the center. Finding community. Feels good giving back, she said over coffee. Sarah and I visited weekly. Boundaries firm, but doors open. Lily adored storytime. Evelyn's tales of pioneer ancestors, laced with apologies woven in. Grandma learned from mistakes. Like everyone. One evening, Evelyn hosted dinner, simple chili.
Cornbread.
No more secrets, she toasted. We shared laughs. Tears over photos of Dad. He'd want this, Sarah said. I agreed, the cycle broken, replaced by honest dialogue. Months later, a text from Evelyn. Proud of you all. No ask. Just love. The light lesson? Family thrives on trust, not transactions. In America's West, where survival demands resilience, so does forgiveness. We've got miles ahead, but the trail's clearer now.